She really does want to make a difference in our communities, and it just only made sense to have her involved in this fundraiser. So Ashley, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay. I am beaten, shattered. I'm 14 years old. I call my friend. He says, "Meet me, I'm leaving now." This 14-year-old boy walks 40 minutes in the dead of winter at night on a school night to meet me so that I don't feel alone. Suddenly, I'm not insane. I'm not isolated. Someone else is saying to me, "I see what's going on in your life, and it's not right." I'm 16 years old. I'm an addict. I'm a criminal. I'm always on the verge of getting kicked out of school. He fights with me year after year. Go to school, go to rehab, stop killing yourself slowly. One day I've had enough. I say to him, "You're not my father. You don't have to do this." He says, "You're right, I'm not your father, but your father's not around. And somebody needs to tell you that your life is spinning out of control. And I keep at you because I care. I feel grateful, I feel seen, I feel loved, and I feel cared for." Grief consumes me. I punch a hole in the wall to match the hole in my heart. He comes to pick me up. I'm dealing with the loss of something so severe that I'm rendered speechless. I tell him what I did. He wants to see the damage. I don't want him to see how bad it is, how bad I am. Eventually, he comes upstairs. He quietly scans the room, and all he says to me is, "I can fix this." He leaves and comes back with all the tools that he needs to repair what I've broken. My panic seizes, and I soften. He tells me, "Everything will be okay. I'm here." And everything was okay. I am chased, I'm caught, and I'm beaten. Afterwards, I call my boyfriend. He stays on the phone with me the entire night, into the morning. I waken in the morning to the sound of him breathing in and out, sleeping. I realize I only sleep because to me, he is my site of safety. He tells me that I'm brilliant, constantly. Anytime I question my abilities, it's met with his utter faith that I can do absolutely anything. In public, he defends me when I am dangerously wild. In private, he lets me know when I am off course. It took me years and years to get my life together. When I did, his pride was palpable. You see, he saw a version of me that I had not yet seen myself, and his gift in my life was that eventually I became her. I'm 15 years old. I'm in a minimum security prison that resembles a halfway house, and it's co-ed. His name was Sean. He was Irish and beautiful. We fell in love in a hopeless place. The problem, I had 2 roommates. One of them likes Sean. These 2 girls say to me that they're going to throw me out the window at night when I'm sleeping. I was blessed. There was a guy from the neighborhood, very tough, also housed in this prison. I tell him what happened. He goes to the girls. He tells them if they even touch me, they're going to have to answer to him. They never bother me again. I feel safe and I feel protected. I feel as good as I possibly can for being 15 years old in prison. I'm uncharacteristically quiet on a night out with my all-male friends. One notices. He asks me what's wrong. I tell him. He has an odd request. He'd like to tell all of our friends. I laugh. It's strange, but I say okay. For the next 2 hours, I watched this group of young men debate, challenge one another, and post suggestions about how I'm best to approach the challenge that I'm facing. They can't fix it for me, but they can make sure that I feel seen and that I'm not dealing with it alone. I will never forget 2 thoughts I had that night. They've stayed with me since then. Number 1, nothing I've been taught about men matches my actual life experience of them. Number 2, I can't imagine having better friends. I feel seen, I feel cared for, and I feel loved. He pursues me for a very long time. I'm not interested. I'm clear and direct. I'm 15 years old that Valentine's Day. He asked to meet me. Hesitantly, I say yes. In the dead of winter, he stands with a huge teddy bear and a gift bag full of flowers. I ask him, why did you do this? He tells me because I'm beautiful and that he admires me, and he goes on to list the reasons why. For weeks, I wait. I just know that he's going to somehow claim I owe him something. After all, who in this world does something without wanting anything in return? It never happens. Nothing happens. He passes me in the hallway at school and smiles like someone with no agenda. And I think to myself for the very first time, maybe there are people in this life that give just because it feels right. Maybe ease and goodness are possible in my wayward life. Maybe life doesn't always have to be so complicated. I received my master's degree. The next day, I spilled juice all over the computer that got me there. Immediately, he offers me his. He is always, always there for me. He's like a brother. In one of my darkest moments, he says to me, wherever we are, that is where your home will be. You see, in my life, slowly, relentlessly, year after year, a truth emerged. The version of men I had learned about in my youth was not the full story. I was raised by a man that is nothing like the men on this list. He didn't request, he raged. He didn't stay, he abandoned. He didn't support. He lived largely for his own self. For many, many years, when I was young, I asked myself, why me? Why was this my story? Why was this my father? But adulthood changes the angle you look from. And now I ask myself these things. What pain was he carrying? Who taught him how to be a good man? And how did he end up this way? Further, and most shocking to me, I see him as a gift. If not for the masculine monstrosity that raised me, I would not have been able to recognize good men when I see them. Why? Because they sound, feel, and act nothing like him. They don't rage, they request. They don't leave when things get difficult, they stay. They don't ask you to handle everything on your own and check in when it's done. They're there throughout the process, day after day, they support. I was 24 years old when I realized that my version of men, the one I had learned in my youth, had shifted. I no longer saw men as violent, cruel, and uncaring. The loving, supportive, kind men in my life had literally allowed me to rewire my brain. What did I see men as instead? What was my new model? They listen. No matter how high or low I go, they stay grounded, they stay present, and they don't flinch. I love it. They are loving. But for men, loving sometimes means protection. It's not always big speeches. It's action. It's no hesitation or negotiation. It's, I've got you. They are often direct. What you see is sometimes what you get, unless it's about power or relations. And if it's about those things, beware, that's a different game altogether. Men struggle. They struggle, and they often struggle silently, but they do struggle deeply. I get the calls. I get the calls about the wobbling confidence, about the fears of financial decline, about body image, about the relationships that they ruin, about the relationships that ruin them, about perceived failures. If we think for 1 second that men don't worry about body image and about their places in people's lives, we're very wrong, because they do. Sometimes I think that men just show their emotion very differently than we expect. They bleed in different directions. For all of the lessons that the men that I love taught me, I still had to watch a lot of them be claimed by the world and leave far too soon. 34. That is the number of my friends that I grew up with that have died. How? Suicides, overdoses, and accidents tied to addiction. Their faces never leave my mind, not for one day. And so many times I think, how are so many people gone so soon? There is no one answer. There is no universal reason. Every life has thousands of stories that stand behind it. But it is undeniable that 75% of suicides in Canada are committed by males. And here's the thing. We say to men, be emotionally available, but don't be too soft. Vulnerability is often perceived as a solely feminine attribute. We say that softness is shame. We ask men to carry their burdens almost solely alone, and then we act surprised when they cave under the pressure of doing so. I would like to see a world where men are celebrated for holding strength, power, and love in the same body. The traditional male model, stoic, distant, less involved with their kids than their partners, is dead. But in its absence, we have yet to devise a new model for the traditional man. I think if we want a world where men get to be whole, we need to start doing something that isn't done nearly enough. We need to start thanking them for when they do get it right. Thank you to men for when you support. Thank you to men for when you show up. Thank you for when you're there, for when you protect, for when you give to the people you love. To the friends of my youth, who somehow, some way, I hope can hear me tonight, my life is bigger because you were in it. You showed me care, love, and courage that I didn't even know existed. For the men in my life now, some in this room, for the ones that challenge me, push me, support me, fight for me, are there for me. I see you, I respect you, I honor you, and thank you. Because of men, I know that the version of me they held in their hearts, powerful, resilient, unique, is true. Because of men, I know that authentic love is nothing to be feared. It's powerful. Because of men, I know that the man I was raised with was the exception, not the rule. I take you with me wherever I go. Thank you, and I love you. Good night.